And if you're having the kind of winds we've been having, you got issues and you got falling over corn. I hope that's not the case, but let me show you what I'm doing to keep my corn standing up. Man, we've had some winds. It's been tough. Normally, March is supposed to be the windiest month. April and May have been far windier than March. So, got a lot of corn here. It's up, 4 feet tall. I want to make sure it stays at least 4 feet tall, if not 5, 6, 7, 8 feet tall. We don't want it falling over, breaking that stalk. That can be catastrophic for your corn. So, let me show you what we're doing, and it's worked. I'll show you some windy pictures here in just a second. So it's really not as windy right now, as you can see, but yesterday especially was just, I mean, some gusts coming through. I just noticed I've got some tasseling going on over there. I'll show you that in just a second. This is peaches and cream sweet corn, and we have just been deluged with with rain, with a deluge of rain, as well as just really strong winds. So what I have done is come in here. First of all, I drove some T-posts. This is about I'm not gonna say it's 50 feet, 48, I think, 47 to 48 feet row. This is my raised bed now. And let me tell you why raised beds are more susceptible to corn falling over than it is out in the, if you plant in the soil. In the soil, you're typically going to go in when the corn is 16 inches tall, something like that, and you're going to heel it. You're going to throw, either with a rake or with a wheel hoe, you're going to throw dirt on that corn, the base of the corn, to, several reasons to help it. One of those reasons is to help it stand up. You're doing it for weeding, you're doing it for cultivation, fertilization, you're covering your fertilizer up that you just put down, whatever, but you're going to try to cover the bases, the roots, the very bottoms of those corn stalks, and that helps hold the corn up. In a raised bed, you just can't do that, or I haven't figured a way. Now I'm planting pretty dense here. I've got 4 rows in about a 42-inch area here. Again, 50 feet long or so, but I've got 4 rows in this, and I've done it over and over and over. This is not my first time to plant corn in these raised beds, and it always makes excellent corn. As long as I fertilize it right, it makes really good corn. So that's one reason you do it, because you just can't, in a raised bed, you can't come in here and throw dirt on the bases of these corn plants. You really need to do that twice during the life of a corn, at least a couple of times. So what I've done, I came in here and drove some T-posts, 5 T-posts, one on each end, and then 3 in the middle, and about every 12 feet, 11 and a half, 12 feet, something like that. I tried to split it up pretty evenly. And then I came in here with some, and I'm using what I have. I'm using baling twine. But I came in here between that T-post, these 4 T-posts here, that one and that one. I did a crisscross. I did an X here. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. It goes across. It's going from this T-post to that T-post. And then this one goes from this T-post to that T-post. So I did an X across this section. We're going to call this a section, a 12 foot or so, 12 by 4 foot section. Across, did an X, and then I came through here, and I just came through here and just tied a string onto the outer string that goes, that's going, you know, all the way across. I've got a string that runs all the way down the row, and I just tied this string onto that string, pulled a good knot, you know, two or three knots in it, and pulled it across there. I've still got the cross here. You can see where it's crisscrossing there in the middle of this little 12-foot section. Then I came over here, probably should have put one right here, but the way it's crisscrossed, this is kind of held up by the crisscross of that string there. And then I came over here and put another string going horizontal to it. are perpendicular to whatever you'd say, perpendicular, I guess, to these outside strings. Did that on every one of these, and it was blowing up a storm yesterday. Now we didn't get a storm. I mean, the wind was really blowing, and this corn, well, I'm showing you pictures of it right now. This corn was really, really blowing, but it stood up. I was just real proud of my staking and proud of my knot tying and all that stuff, because the corn really stood up to the wind. And shoot, I was glad to see it. There's just nothing worse of putting in hours and hours. Corn seed's expensive, first of all. Putting in the amount of money that it takes to plant corn, and then going out there and seeing your corn falling over. Every year just about it falls over. Now I've done this in the past, and you can do this if you're planting in the dirt. It's not just for raised beds. I was just saying that raised beds probably need it more than any other, than planting out in the dirt, because you can't heal your rows, heal your corn. But you know, it has really worked well. Most of the wind we're getting is from the south, which is behind me. Now right now we got the north wind coming in. It's coming at me because we had a little cold front. It's going to be 80 instead of 90. The wind's coming at me right now, but the last few days the wind has been directly that way, and I mean just blowing the dog out of this corn. And it is still standing up straight and tall. And like I said before, I'm starting to get some tassels. I just fertilized it about a week ago, but it's supposed to fertilize again when you get tassels, when it starts tasseling. So I really need to come in here. I may wait till the most of it is tasseling. Right now, maybe 10% or less is tasseling. So I may wait another week, and then boy, that one's getting after it. And then fertilize again. These 4 rows of corn, now they are planted dense. Again, I'm gonna back off so you can see the rows here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of corn in these tubs. These are 2 tubs put together. You know, 2 raised beds. There's a split in the middle, but you got 2 rows in each one of those, 50 feet long. So what? The corn is dense, which really helps with pollination. You definitely want to plant your corn denser, pretty dense. Most people would not plant this densely. So it's just been a great place to plant corn. I normally plant onions in that row. I've got all this covered up right now, trying to kill some vines, some morning glory. But just wanted to show you the tying process and how that's just, I mean, has done a number on this corn. And this corn is growing. Shoot, it's growing. Should make a mess of corn. Should get about 200 ears out of this. And that's what we want. We do like us some corn. Tie your corn up, because you're going to walk out there one morning, and after a storm hit through the night, and your corn's going to be laying over, and it's not fun. Dadgum, it's just, it's really disheartening. Now, I'm not saying you won't make an ear of corn on one that's bent over, but you kink that stalk. You know, once that stalk's done, you can put a good kink in that stalk. I don't know. It may or may not make an ear. So protect your corn from falling over, because it absolutely will if you don't protect it. But now that these are getting tall, it's like a big old sail on a ship. It's going to catch that wind. So the taller it gets, the more exposed it is to that wind. So get it done. If you hadn't done it, get it done before your corn gets too tall, or you're going to very likely lose it. If you live in a place that gets windy. I got to look and see how tall the corn gets. And if it gets a lot taller than this, then I will probably come in here and put one more set of strings. Right now I've got that is not a string, that is electric fence wire, 17 gauge electric fence wire. And I was going to do that all the way across it, and I've got some dang much of that string. I got to use it up. So I may come in here if the corn is going to get much taller than this, and I fear that it will, and do another one, you know, right up in here somewhere, after the corn gets up to where it will it will need it. Shoot, I think it's going to need it. I think it's going to need another strand, and it's just a matter of going in here and doing it. It probably took 15-20 minutes. It's really not that hard after I got the T-post drove. And even if we get a hard storm come through, I'm pretty confident, especially if I put that next row of string on, I'm pretty confident we're going to make corn without anything falling over. It may lean a little bit against one of those strings, it may lean against a string, but what I have seen is straightening right back up, because some of these, this end here was catching all that south wind. I mean, all of it coming this way, and this end here was leaning down. And when I put the strings on, it was blowing like a son of a gun while I was trying to put the strings on. But this end right here was really blowing, was leaning, but now it's standing up straight. So if you'll protect it, I believe it'll straighten up for you. And like my daddy used to say, boys, you better straighten up and fly right. I'm fixing to show you how the cow ate the cabbage. Not sure exactly what that meant, but we got whoopings. We got whoopings when we didn't straighten up and fly right. But anyway, that is a whole nother saying. Texas-ism, I guess. How to talk Texan. I got something to share with y'all on that coming pretty doggone soon. All right, corn, tied up, do it. And we're gone.